All right, everyone, I want to welcome everyone to coming here to Somerset Regional Animal Shelter. You guys have all been here before, and you just see many improvements over the last few years with the adoption numbers going up, with the donations, with the public support, with the Boy Scouts over here, the Girl Scouts, the Senior Center. Even we do events with the Senior Center in Chelsea and different senior centers. So we work with them from 5 years up to 95 years old. So everyone's involved in the animal shelter here in the community. So we try to give back to people of the community as well as the animals of the community. Some of the things that we really need is a good working vehicle, also a facility, and areas for the dogs to exercise and play with, and for people to meet the animals. So over the last few months, we've been able to do that with generous support. First of all, I'm going to introduce you to Tim Pino, one of our council members, board members of the animal shelter, and he's going to talk a little bit about Mr. Wildman and the Wildman Foundation.
All right, thank you everybody for coming. We have a lot of distinguished guests, too many to name, but I'll highlight a few. I start with Brian and Rose of the shelter and our friends that all help us out. You guys do amazing work. To have everybody here tonight like this for the animal shelter is just, it's very humbling. We love our animals here in Somerset County. We love them in Bridgewater. Seeing Senator Mike Doherty, thank you for coming out tonight.
Thanks, Chief.
I said mayors on Durko and Hayes and Matt Munch and everyone else, Councilman Henderson Rose, thank you. Natalie is on the board with me, Mary's on the board. We work tirelessly. These people send emails out like around the clock, and we're always trying to make our animal shelter better. And to do that, you need help from the public. Cannot never do it alone. And over the last couple of years, one of our best benefactors has been Mr. Wildman. Mr. Wildman, please step on up. Just to give you a little bit of background on Mr. Wildman. I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Wildman under unfortunate circumstances. Mr. Wildman's daughter died in the 9/11 terrorist attacks in New York City, and after she had passed away, he had contacted the sheriff's office about his, they created a foundation, the Allison Marie Wildman Foundation, and they wanted to support our canines. So over the last decade, they did support the sheriff's office canine unit, I think in excess of about $40,000. So on behalf of that, we thanked them numerous times. And over the last 2 years, since I got involved with the animal shelter, Mr. Wildman also had a vested interest in learning more about the shelter and become involved, and he's donated to us, the foundation, over the last couple years as well. So we want to thank you. And it's helped tremendous. So many animals come through this animal shelter, not just monthly. Like, I see the stats for the month. It's insane. Sometimes they get over like 1,000 different animals that come through here a month. Maybe that might be light. I don't know what's more, 1,600? Was that
You never know. You never know.
It gets a lot. But people don't realize, not only do we treat dogs and cats, they treat wildlife. They treat pretty much any walk-in. Everything's great from start to finish. They set people up with adoptions and give them little starter kits to go home. We send so many kids come out of here with their parents holding the puppy for them, and it's a whole new family, and it's just great work. But without people like Mr. Wildman, that's not possible. So we wanted to do something special for Mr. Wildman, to not only just let him know we appreciate what he's doing, but something that reminds the community that this is a family atmosphere. He is part of the Somerset Regional Animal Shelter family. And Brian, if you could. And for the future, so will his foundation. So now everybody will know his connection to our shelter, and as we collect new strays and find new homes with them, they'll be connected to Mr. Wildman's foundation. So thank you. And on behalf of everybody who's here, they're all here for you. That's great. Thank you.
So now we have our new vehicle to go and rescue stray animals all over Bridgewater and Greenbrook and Manville. Also to help some local shelters that aren't as fortunate to have the high adoptions. So we can go into some of those, Newark, Jersey City, those places. That's one of my favorite things, to go help those shelters, because I've worked in those shelters and I know how hard it is. They don't have all the good things that we have here in Bridgewater. But also I'm going to introduce you now to Natalie. She's also a board member of Somerset Regional Animal Shelter. And Natalie's statement is also going to talk a little bit about these nice big play yards we had donated and put up. So here's Natalie.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody for coming. I'm going to just kind of repeat a little bit of what Tim said, because it's true. It's a community effort here. It's a community shelter. And we want to thank the people who have come here, the public, also Mayor Andorco from Manville, Mayor Hayes from Bridgewater, and the members of the councils of Manville and Bridgewater who are here, who are not here, just for your support of the shelter, because it means so much for day to day. What Tim said is true. So many, every day, all over the shelters, always serving all different kinds of animals. So we thank you for your support. But the big thanks tonight for the play yard goes to Mr. Tony Martinez of National Fence Systems. He donated the labor and materials to make this wonderful play yard. So now we have space for people to connect with pets. We have a place for the dogs to be able to run free inside. But that means so much. I mean, because, you know, if you've ever been to a dog park where a dog can be off of a leash and be able to run free and kind of like be with other dogs and also acclimate with other dogs, that's a really important step. And what's really touching for me, and I think for everybody who's even seen this, is the play yard was dedicated in memory of his mom, Isabel, who really loved animals. And Tony, I am so sure that she is so happy with this gift, because it enriches not only the lives of our residents, because that's what they are, these wonderful animals, the dogs, the cats, the little pocket pets, but also the folks who serve them, and then the families who end up adopting. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Really, it's so appreciated. Okay.
Yeah. Tony, if you want to come up here, Tony, Mr. Martinez. Just come up here. We just wanted to thank you.
Yes.
And then to be up here when we cut the ribbon. But let me just tell you a little bit, because we can see this one play yard here that's 30 by 40, and we have two 15 by 15s. But what you don't see here is in the back we have a 30 by 75 foot run, which takes up a lot of fence. And you know, dogs really need to run. These small areas are nice to play, but to really get to run and get that energy out, it's really special, especially for some of the larger dogs. We have the pit bulls and the shepherd mixes and stuff to really run and get their energy out. It's good mental stimulation for them. We also have baby pools out there for them to swim in. We throw some treats in there, some tennis balls, let them get the things out. So you see this, but in the back it's even better. So you're more than welcome to walk around, just watch where you step. I tried to poop and scoop the best I can. The dogs couldn't wait for the ribbon cutting. They had to try it out first. So right now we will cut the ribbon and have it open.
So I dedicate this play yard in memory of Isabel Martinez. And may the doggies run free.
Nice.
Yay!
Release the house.